Bienvenidos todos. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whenever you're watching, welcome to En Casa con la Plaza. This is La Plaza de Culturas series, bringing you conversations, presentations, performances, and more from our home to yours. 3, sometimes more times per week. It's our way of fulfilling our mission of telling the little known stories of Mexican Americans, and all Latinos in the founding, growth, and evolution of the greater Los Angeles area, and to present to you our arts, our history, our culture, our music, and much, much more. If you're joining us on Zoom, please join in the chat. There's a little chat button there. Let us know where you're coming from, where you're viewing from. Also, you can ask questions throughout. If you are joining us on Facebook, please do the same. Let us know you're here. Tell us where you're coming from. If you have comments or questions, we may interrupt our speaker or we may save them to the last. But with that, let me see. You can, if you're on Facebook, start a watch party, make the comments, questions. This is an interactive session, as you'll see. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to our presenter of Papeles Tradicionales, Mario A. Hernández, of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, one of our own. Coming up, Mario.
Hey, such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Abelardo, for such an introduction. And yeah, En Casa con la Plaza, it's very important for us to have a home here because we don't get to enjoy the programming, sitting live at a workshop or anything like that. So we bring in all these activities to your house, and I hope you enjoy them and you make the most of them.
Well, thank you, Mario. You may not know, Mario is been a long time La Plaza, first a colleague, first as a visitor, then working in our visitor services area, and now he's working with me in marketing and communications. Why don't you tell us how you got involved with La Plaza, Mario?
Absolutely, yeah. So I was just driving by. I would commute to Silver Lake, where I used to work, and so I would see this rundown building, and I thought to myself, when is it going to be, put down and rebuilt, something for the community? And one day I was shopping in downtown. I bought these big cobijas, these big colchas, the Mexicans one with the big, like it was like a tiger on there. And so I walked in with these big bags, and I noticed it was open. And so my wife and I walked in, and we realized it was a museum, and so I was thrilled about it. As soon as I walked in, visitor services greeted me. Amaret, I remember her name. She's a great person, and so she told me the scoop about La Plaza, and I was just amazed, and I was thrilled to be there. And once I walked through the space, I was really profoundly impacted. And so once I was out, I thought to myself, wow, what a great representation of our people, our culture. This is what we needed here, because there is no other place like La Plaza. So the very first day I actually asked to be a volunteer. I filled out a form. Within a couple of weeks, I was out helping in the workshops, helping, being engaged with students. And it was such an amazing experience, full of opportunities. And so eventually I was asked to work for La Plaza, and I started with visitor service, like you mentioned. And then because of my love of graphic design and the arts, I was able to also help relieve workshops for children. And I got the opportunity to work with Abelardo, which was an excellent opportunity for me because of my interest in graphic designs and the arts, of course. So it was such a thrilling experience.
Well, great. Well, tell us a little bit about your background in art, please.
Sure. So I've been making art since a very young age. I got to give it up to Miss Correa from the 3rd grade, because she really made me realize that I was good in the arts, and she actually fed a lot of information to me at a young age, which we hardly had any art interactions and any exposure. So once that happened, after that, I just started being involved in the arts however I could. I love mixed media. I love engaging in different ways of making art, including printmaking, painting, airbrushing, tattooing, and I get to enjoy the arts with Papel or China paper where I can make, different traditional items as well too. So that's something that I really enjoyed. And so I pursued a career in the arts. I went to East Los Angeles College, started at Eli Go Anywhere. And so I accomplished a few associate degrees, including in studio arts, in art history, and it really kind of made me a rounded artist. And now I'm in pursuit of a bachelor's degree in the arts.
Well, fantastic. That's good to hear. And we got to give a shout out to Mario, of course, well loved and respected here at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes for his all around love of the culture and the history, the knowledge, and also sharing it with all of our visitors. And especially if you like our graphics and our signage and our posters, and that's all Mario, along with doing other things within the marketing communications. And now we're going to do a very special presentation of En Casa, which we've touched on a little bit. As you know, our education department usually does the workshops, the field trips, and so on. They have been planning for the past few months a series that they're going to start real soon called En Familia con la Casa, which are workshops and field trips and so on. But I asked Mario to share some of his knowledge. And first of all, we're going to start with a video that he shot about a couple months ago, right? It's on.
Yes, I was very excited to be a part of it, and we did it from scratch. We did the whole setup, the cameras, the camera angles. I had a camera mounted in my ceiling, so that was fun. I got both of the clips together, and we created a video. I really enjoyed also video editing, so that was something that I had the opportunity to create as well. Throwing music in there, edit, insert text. It was a project that was created from scratch, and thanks to Abelardo for all his guidance as well. We were able to finish it and make it available for all to see.
Well, here goes. This is the first effort. It's up on YouTube, but for many of you that haven't seen it yet, here's your opportunity. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, I'm Mario Hernández, and today we're going to be making a do-it-yourself tutorial on Papel Picado. It's part of the En Casa con la Plaza series. Now let's get started. Papel Picado dates back way to the Mesoamerican times, where local tribes and natives, including the Aztecs, used to carve spirit figures onto bark. Later on,
here, I'm going to start this over again. I'm afraid I'm sharing the wrong screen. Something that happens a little bit too frequently when you're new to all this technology. I should know better, but here goes. We're going to start it all over again. My apologies, but here goes.
Hi everybody, I'm Mario Hernández, and today we're going to be making a do-it-yourself tutorial on Papel Picado. It's part of the En Casa con la Plaza series. Now let's get started. Papel Picado dates back way to the Mesoamerican times, where local tribes and natives, including the Aztecs, used to carve spirit figures onto bark. Later on, with the accessibility of trade, we were able to carve designs onto this more accessible and easier and more manageable paper called China paper or tissue paper, in which figures and also designs are carved onto them, and they are displayed in holidays, for example, like Dia de los Muertos, or including Christmas and other street holidays. These are typically, as you may see here, hung on a string, and very festively with flying colors, they decorate the streets. Here are some of the materials you will need today. So you will need tissue paper, also known as China paper. I cut these out onto 10 inches square. You will also need scissors. You need glue. You can also use rubber glue, cement glue, or any other type of house glue you may have. You will need string, yarn, also even sewing string will work if you double it up, which I have here. And you will need a small brush. Typically any brush does it. I like to use small ones. This is a specifically a flat head brush that allows me to easily access the small areas I'm trying to glue. And that is all. So you're going to go ahead and grab your 10-inch Papel Picado paper, also known as China paper, tissue paper. You're going to place it down and fold in 3 halves. So I'm going to go ahead and fold 1 half. Most importantly, you got to remember that the edges are overlap right on there so that your symmetry on your design could come out very accurate and pleasing. So I'm going to go ahead and fold the second time. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold the third time. Until you have something like this. At the bottom, you're going to go ahead and make a skirt. So you're going to take about 1 inch and cut out your design. I like to cut off the edges here to give it a kind of like this round look to it at the bottom. Once I cut the edges off, I want to put a circle here in the middle. So to do so, I'm going to fold just the bottom portion in half. And then I'm going to cut a circle right about here. So I'm cutting a half circle, so when I open it up, it'll equal to a circle. So there you have it, half a circle. So once you open it up, you're going to have something like this. Next, you will go ahead and open half of the papel, look a little something like this. And on the top portion, you're going to fold about 1/2 inch in, which is where your string will go. It's going to give you the ability to hang your papel picado. Once that is done, you're going to fold this half onto the end of your skirt, which is about here. Then you're going to go ahead and fold into a triangle. So you're going to take this end and fold it down here. So it looks a little something like this. Once you have that, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut out about maybe 3 designs here and 3 designs on this side. So your designs could either be circles, squares, diamonds, lines. So I'm going to start by cutting off the tip of the triangle here, just like that. And to cut off my shapes, I'm going to use the bottom portion of the scissors where the most pressure is being applied to, and you're going to get the sharpest cuts. So I'm going to cut 3 designs here. So go ahead and start by cutting out a big half circle, perhaps a diamond, and then I'm going to do like this diamond dash line here. I'm going to go ahead and flip over and do the same here. I just usually cut random circles and lines and diamonds and even ovals, so you have something like this. So once you're done cutting your designs, you're going to have about 3 cuts here, 3 cuts here, and you cut the edge. Once you're done with that step, you're going to go ahead and open it up. And there you have it. You have your design here in the middle, in the center, and then you have your bottom skirt, which kind of uplifts your snowflake design here. Alright, now that you have all your papel picado cut out, we're going to go ahead and bind it. And I'm going to start with the red, white, and green for the Mexican color since I have them available here. And I'm going to take my string, and it's about perhaps maybe 10 feet in length. So you want to fold it in half. And you're going to take the half and place it down. You're going to take your white papel picado, place it in the middle, and put your string over it. Apply a little glue onto the papel picado. That's so, very little. Then you're going to take your brush and make sure you spread it evenly to avoid any glue globs. Then you're going to fold it in half. And there you have it. You're going to go ahead and move on to the rest of the colors. Green. You want to space them about 1 inch in length. So again, I put my glue on, and with the brush, I spread the glue evenly. And you're gonna fold the top portion in. And 2 down. And papel picado is great for indoor or outdoor celebrations. For example, this papel I cut out to 10 inches, which I will be putting up on my mother's living room. And I thought it'd be perfect in size. Of course, if you are making papel picado for outdoors, you could try different sizes. It's 8.5 by 11, which will make it much more visible in the outdoor setting. And I just go ahead and continue on with the rest of the designs. Remember, you want to space them out about 1 inch apart. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and glue my last one here, which is a blue one. And we'll be ready for the fiesta. And there you have it, everybody. Papel picado is ready to hang. Well, that concludes our En Casa con la Plaza Papel Picado tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please send us your images of your Papel Picado, any questions you might have. And don't forget to follow us on social media. On Facebook, we post all our En Casa con la Plaza upcoming events. And visit our website at www.lapca.org for more of these videos. Thank you, everybody.
That was pretty awesome, Mario. That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I hope it was simple enough for everybody to make. And I just wanted to share that I first started engaging with the China paper because I was doing Dia de los Muertos altar. And so I was trying to look for a papel picado that was already cut out, but I kept on finding this plastic papel picado, and it wasn't really like original, you know? So I decided, why don't I just make a little research and see if I can make it myself? And so to my surprise, it was like very simple. And so from there, I expanded into making also the Cempasuchil paper flowers because they were so simple to make. And I thought, wow, folks need to learn how to make our traditional art. So the younger generations can also be exposed to it and see how simple it is. Rather than just going to the store and buying it already made and decorated, it just makes it so much, engaging for you to actually make it at home and then mount it on the wall or wherever the event is. So for whatever event it might be. So I hope this inspires the young ones and the old ones to get their hands a little dirty and create our traditional methods of art.
Well, that sounds like a challenge to the families, to the niños, to the adultos out there to make their own and to show how that it can be done. Mario, why don't you show us an example right now with a different type of papel picado, but papel picado nonetheless. Just take us through the steps as you make one.
Yes, of course. So the video you just seen, it covers making a square papel picado. So it looks a little something like this. But now I'm going to show you another method of creating papel picado, which kind of is a flag version of it. So it's a triangular version. And so it's pretty much the same. It's a little bit more easier to make though, and a lot more faster. So I'm going to go ahead and run it real quick with you. If you have any questions, please write them down. I'll go ahead and try to address them. But here we go. You want to start with a square China paper, square China paper. You fold it in half. And then between this corner and this corner, you're going to make another fold. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and cut this part off. So I have one that's already cut off here, and it looks like something like this. Once you have that down, you're going to go ahead and fold in half. So you fold in half here. And then I'm going to fold yet another half. So you end up with something like this. Once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and make cuts here on this edge. So like I mentioned in the video, I like to make random cuts, circles, ovals, lines, squares, whatever comes into mind. So I usually start by cutting off the corner here of the paper. Cut it off diagonally. I just randomly make circles, a few diamond shapes, even some dash lines should do the trick. I like to be very dynamic, so I cut big circles and then something small and then something big. So that way you have that dynamic look in your piece in the end. All right, so once you're at this step, we have cut off these edges here. You're gonna go ahead and fold an additional half. So you're gonna try to make a design here. So in order to do that, you're gonna fold in this area. So I go ahead and just fold this area. It's a little meticulous because it's small, but you could always hit rewind on the video and see where your cuts need to be exactly so that you won't mess up. So I'm gonna practically do the same as I did in the first cut, except I'm gonna do it at a smaller scale. So I approximately cut about 4 cuts. And I'll show you a little closer now. So these are the cuts that I just cut right now. All right, so once you have that done, you open up your papel. And you end up with something like this. And if I want to cut the edges here, I could go ahead and fold in half once more. And then I cut these edges here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the cuts. I'm just gonna make random cuts, nothing too fancy. Just kind of for you to get the hang of it. Once you really get the hang of it, then you can get very elaborate with your cuts and with your designs. So there you have it. It's kind of like a flag.
That looks really good there. So As you saw, it's very similar in the process as in the larger Papel Picado, but on a smaller scale. And just like what Mario says, you could get very creative with it. There's really no mistakes you can make, right, Mario?
Right. And so you could try vertical designs. Here I did like a radial design. So it's kind of like a snowflake. Here it's a little more complex, but eventually, hopefully you'll be able to graduate into something a little bit more, like I said, more complex. But then here's a simple method that everybody could try at home. And you could even also overlap your paper. So if you have about maybe, let's say 3 sheets of paper, you overlap them, and the paper is so thin that you could cut right through it. And I mean, it'll save you a lot of time. And of course, once you're done, you go ahead and continue the same methods as the first tutorial you just seen, where you fold the top of it, and then you go ahead and mount it on a string to be placed wherever you like. But here's a simple method of creating.
All right, well, that was fantastic. And as Mario said, you know, it's a little tedious. You have to be meticulous, but with practice, you could get the whole family involved to do several strings to really make a festive atmosphere to whatever get together you have, birthday parties, celebrations, quinceañeras, weddings, even just to have them hanging around the house to make your house more festive. Right, Mario?
Exactly. There's no going wrong. I mean, you can use it for all occasions. And like you mentioned, it's very festive. And it's just takes you back, you know, it takes you back to the traditions of Latin America and how we festively, you know, gather around together and enjoy these types of events.
All right, great. And as Mario said, if you're going to try this at home and use the video as the guide, you could just, if you didn't catch something, just rewind a bit and start over. And then if you make a mistake, well, start over. But eventually you will be able to string them up and make your whole place look very festive. So,
yeah,
we're going to go on to the next one. Like the name of this is Papeles Tradicionales. There's another traditional use of paper within the Mexican culture, the Mexicano Mexican American culture. And tell us a little bit about it before we get started with the video, Mario.
Yes, most certainly. So you're about to see a video on Cempasuchil flowers. And so, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted something traditional and for my altar that I was creating. And I went out shopping and wanted to buy these items when then I realized, wow, it's very cheap to gather all the materials, very inexpensive. And like I said, once you buy the tissue paper, you can buy it like at the dollar store. It costs just about $1 or $2, and it comes with like 10 or 12 colors. So it's very inexpensive. So if you mess up, there's no wrongdoing. You can go ahead and try again until you get it done right. And I mean, I was just shocked of how easy it was to make these Cempasuchil paper flowers. And so we decided to make a video and just, you know, show it to everybody so that they're able to make it at home.
Thank you, Mario. We're going to go ahead and do the next video. I think gonna get it right. This is a world premiere, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen it, Mario has seen it, but this is the first time that we're offering it up to el público. You could catch it again on the rewind of this video, which we'll be posting on YouTube and on our Facebook page, but also as a standalone video. So here goes.
Hi everybody, I'm Mario Hernández, and today we're going to be making a paper Cempasuchil flower. It's part of the En Casa con la Plaza series. Now let's get started. The marigold flower is also known as Cempasuchil. It's a Nahua term which translates to 20 flowers. It's a native to the Americas and was used by the Aztecs as a symbol which represented the Aztec goddess of death, Mictlantecutli. Since ancient Mesoamerican times, the Cempasuchil flower is primarily used during the Mexican holiday Dia de Muertos to adorn graves, tombstones, and altares. They come in various colors, including red, orange, and yellow, and their aromatic fragrances offer therapeutic tranquility to its surroundings. This paper flower version is a creative and amusing alternative to the real marigold. It makes a great gift and it may be displayed in your altar. Here are some of the materials you will need. You will need tissue paper, either red, orange, or yellow. You will need a ruler. You will need some scissors. And you will need a florist stem wire. Also, any small gauge wire should work. Step 1. Stack your 8 pieces of tissue paper and measure into 4 inches square. 4 inches on one side, 4 inches on the other side. Then you're going to go ahead and cut your tissue paper. So much easier when it's stacked. You only have to do a few cuts rather than cutting every single one individually. This is a lot more simpler. So make sure they're stacked up evenly. And you're gonna fold one half. And then you're gonna fold this other half as well. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and make another half here and another half here. So essentially you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 folds per half. So I'm going to go ahead and fold the first half here. And then I'm going to go back, fold this half. And then I'm going to end it by folding the last half. Until it looks like something like this, like an accordion. You're going to go ahead and fold the other half as well. Same way you folded the first half. So start by folding the half. Make sure your paper stacked up evenly. Fold in half. And another half. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the accordion. Finish off the accordion. Make sure you crease and fold real tight. And you're going to end up with an accordion looking something like this. You're done folding your accordion, you're going to go ahead and fold in half. Once you fold in half, you're going to go ahead and cut a triangular shape at the top. Cut up a triangular shape at the top. Remember, you want to use the bottom of your scissors where the sharpest cuts are usually made. Sometimes it gets a little hard to cut. Just be careful. You may have to go once or twice. Once you cut out the tips, you're going to go ahead and take your florist stem wire and twine the top. So I lay it approximately about 1 inch. Then I fold. You're going to be left with approximately 1/4 inch for you to be able to twine it to the stem. Make sure it's centered. Next step, you're gonna open up your tissue paper, and sheet by sheet, you're gonna go ahead and fluff up the tissue paper. So take the first sheet up and fluff it from the very first edge to the other side. but surely, we'll start having that naturalistic look to it. You have to be very gentle, otherwise the tissue paper will start ripping. Very gentle and be very patient. And I'm almost done with my first half. So these are 8 sheets of tissue paper. All right, so you see how that first half is coming along? Then you're gonna move on with the second half. Very gently, start lifting up one by one. Once you get to this stage, we want to go ahead and just adjust, fix, and pull some of the tissue petals outward. Just give it a very fluffy and naturalistic look to it. You can even go ahead and cup it with your hand. Cempasuchil paper flower is good to go. And there you have it, everyone. A simple method of creating a Cempasuchil paper flower. If you enjoyed this video, visit our website at www.lapca.org for more En Casa con la Plaza episodes. You could also visit our Facebook, Instagram, and social media websites at LA Plaza LA. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mario. That was great. Big round of applause for Mario.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, that was like you see, a very simple method of creating, and I couldn't help but to share this way of creating the Cempasuchil paper flowers. And so, I mean, once you have it down, you could move on, like I said, to different colors, different sizes and lengths. For example, this is a big old jumbo size. I think I use a I want to say a 10 by 10 inch paper. And then you can also even make bouquets too. I made this small little bouquet here with yellow and orange flowers. The Cempasuchil flowers, they come in yellow, orange, and red. So you have all those options. There are even some that are blended too, that are blended between red and yellow. And you could even do that with the Papel Picado itself. For example, take half of the reds and half of the yellows, and you just overlap them together and you'll get that effect too. So there's just many different ways of creating it too. So I hope all of you are able to try it at home. It's very simple to make. If you don't have the China paper, or you can even find this type of tissue paper in like packaging boxes and stuff like that. And you can even use that too as practice. So it's very accessible for you all to make.
All right, great. Well, this is a great family activity. For my family, at my home, we keep, as you know, many people build altars, altares, ofrendas for their families during Dia de los Muertos. We keep one all the time at a little area. And so making some paper Cempasuchil will be perfect because they're year round and they'll stay and you know, give offering to our ancestors.
Exactly. Yeah, so these are actually some of the ones that I created last year, believe it or not. So I have them in a box. I have a Dia de los Muertos box where I keep all my papel picado and all that stuff that I'm able to use year after year. And I mean, you got nothing to lose. If it rips, well, you could easily create others and replace them too. So it's a great way to keep that tradition alive.
All right, great. Well, out there on Zoom or on Facebook, if you have any questions, please put it in the comment box, put it in the chat. But we do have some people out there, some fans. Alison Sotomayor, she's waving in from Anaheim. We have Valente Quintero. Much love and respect, Mario. We love you. from the baseball head familia. We'll have to talk about that, what that's about later. We have
Thank you, baseball head.
all right, Fred Prince, saludos desde Mar Vista. Frankie Firme shouts out, órale. Fred Prince, again, Mario is a multitasker. He's a real gem, and that's for sure. He's a multitasker, multi-talented. Isabel Rojas Williams, saludos a Mario.
Saludos, Isabel.
All right, Fodat, hello, brother. And he says, man, this would be cool for party. And he's darn right about that. And from Sandra P. Gonzalez, O.M. Dios, love it. In memory of making papel picado. When my children were younger, I tried teaching them to make snowflakes. So is that maybe an upcoming tutorial, Mario?
Sounds real easy, so why not?
All right.
Yeah, and I'm very humble to hear these comments. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and if anybody would like the written instructions for Papel Picado or for the Cempasuchil, please let us know. I'm going to just go ahead and put up a screenshot of what we have. This isn't, of course, it doesn't have all the illustrations, but if you send an email to info@LAPCA, info@LAPCA with the subject head Papeles, simple as that, Papeles, P-A-P-A-L-E-S, we will send you the lesson plan for both the Cempasuchil and for the Papel Picado. Very simple, again, to info@lapca.org and just the subject head, Papeles, and we will send you both. Okay? So any last words, Mario?
No, like I said, I'm very humble and thankful for you having me over today in Casa con la Plaza. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I do want to send a shout out to my pops, Jose. Today's his birthday. So after this, we're going to go party, and guess who's going to be decorating the party?
Well, that's
the Papel Picado and Cempasuchil flowers.
Very appropriate. The perfect occasion for your art and for your talent. So thank you, Mario. Let me just thank everybody, all of you out there on Zoom and Facebook Live for joining in today. If you, like I said, if you did not catch the entire session, we will be posting it on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA. It'll live here on Facebook as well at La Plaza LA, and also on our website, laplazala.org. You could find our upcoming sessions of En Casa con la Plaza on our website and on Facebook as well. And just to let you know what's coming up, as you know, this next weekend on Saturday is the 50th anniversary commemoration of the Chicano moratorium, August 29th. It took place 50 years ago on a Saturday, and there's a lot of activities going on virtually as well as a marcha in East LA. So check out online, but for sure at En Casa con la Plaza, starting on Friday, we have a session at 7 p.m. called Songs of the Chicano Moratorium with Agustin Gursa, a writer and editor who will be talking about the music that was taking place during that summer of protest, as well as the music that was created in response to the anti-war movement and the Chicano movement. On Saturday, a special En Casa inside the Chicano Moratorium 50 years later with Rosalio Munoz, activist and writer and one of the co-organizers of the Chicano Moratorium, which wasn't just the one march on August 29th, 50 years ago, but a whole series of anti-war protests and marches and other activism. And then finally, in commemoration again with the Chicano Moratorium Aftermath for Community Forces. It's a conversation and a discussion with people that attended, that participated in the moratorium, and that took the emotions and their experience with them to serve as artists, as community activists, including Willie Aron, Jesse Chucovello, Mita Cuaron, and Maria Elena Yepes. That's on Wednesday, September 2nd at 7 p.m. You could find all of these, of course, on our website, lapca.org, and on our Facebook page. So thank you so much. We'd like to thank you. We'd like to thank our sponsors, SoCal Gas and the California Humanities and the National Endowment for for the Humanities as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security CARES Economic Stabilization Plan of 2020. We know it's tough times for everybody right now, but things like this, culture, art, history, music, make us better people, and they bring life to our lives. So again, thank you very much, Mario. Any last words?
No, I just want to say once again, thank you everybody for joining us. Hopefully we could do this again, and hopefully we could bring more videos to your home. And please do keep in track with the Zoom shows that Abelardo has in Casa con la Plaza. There's so many talents that he demonstrates, including from cooking workshops to just platicas with a lot of influential folks. So please tune in the future.
Well, thank you so much, Mario. And everybody out there, Mario, everybody out there, your family, happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños to your dad. And we'll see you all soon. Adiós. Nos vemos pronto.